Hello, everyone. This is your host, Supriya. Welcome to Gold Media. Let's Vibe. Be prepared to be amazed as we welcome an extraordinary talent on our show today. Born in December 2007, Kautilya Pandit, famously known as Google Boy, has captivated audience across the world with his astonishing intellect and extensive knowledge. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kautilya Pandit on Gold Media. Let's vibe.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And I think it's my honor to be a part of this initiative. And especially what I felt today is it's a new experience. So I'm pretty excited about it. So let's see how things go on. And I'm pretty excited for this talk.
We are very excited. Thank you so much for joining the show. So, Kautilya, I know that you're now in 11th grade and you have accomplished so far, but I would like to take you back to when you were literally two. Take us through the whole journey of being this, Google boy.
Well, actually, to conclude, like to sum up all the things in few lines, I'd like to say that it was a journey. It was a normal journey. Like I'm just a normal kid, and I see a lot of different kids who have actually great capabilities. So it was just a journey of curiosity, filled with different questions, with different thoughts, and then implementing them in a fun way. So it was more like that you enjoy what you do and doing things what you enjoy and learning most out of it is something that was going on so coherently that I particularly enjoyed this act. So
So, when
it
did it
was really
all
good to me.
start?
Like I really enjoyed it.
When did it all
Hmm.
start? Were you like
Like
two or because I
no, yeah,
remember.
I wasn't two actually. Like I think the oldest memory that I still have with me of mine, like my questioning things is I think when I was 3 or 4, like when I was 4. So I always used to question whatever was happening around me. And I think I think that's one of the most important or distinguishing factors. And I believe that most of the kids have it. It's just that in some situations, due to the circumstances or due to the effect of others, such quality, such curiosity is curbed. But unless I think curiosity is one of the biggest skills that one can have because curiosity then later leads into thought, it leads into creativity, it leads into imagination. So that curiosity was there. I asked a lot of questions, and obviously it was and there could have been nothing without my parents, without my family, Dadaji, and everyone. So I think that was also an essential part. So I think that was the main factor because it was them who actually identified this and they helped me with the course and they were the ones who actually were driving and I was really enjoying what I was doing, whatever I was doing. So the thing was, hey, whatever was happening around me, I used to think about it. I used to question about it. What is this? What is that? And until and unless I got the perfect answer which satisfied with my brain's understanding, I wouldn't stop questioning.
Yeah.
So this, well, like as many of the viewers might not know, but my father is actually a teacher, and we like our entire family comes from a teaching background. So once I was sitting in a class, and this class was I think of 10th standard kids, and I was I think five or four back then. I was 5 or 4, and they were
Yeah.
teaching English. So there's this topic in grammar called non-finite or something. It's non-finite. So my father was actually teaching it to the class, and I was too reluctant. I wanted to be with my papa. So I was like, yeah, I'll be with you. So well, I was a bit stubborn back then, and I went along with him, and I was sitting on a chair on a bench in class along with other students, and I understood all of it because things like what I actually feel that what are we learning to a right extent, like especially kids have that memory power, they have this recollection power, they have this creativity. And if that if that unending curiosity is not curbed, then I think that also plays a crucial part. And when all of these things are mixed and when all of these things are added, I think beautiful mind is created and he or she can do miracles and wonders.
Wow. Thank you so much. So, curiosity and interest, these are the two driving factors for anybody to be, to gain knowledge and understanding. So, thank you so much for that, Kautilya. I know that you work with student community so closely and you've been
Well,
giving.
actually, I'm a student, so I'm
I
not
know.
an outer part of it. I'm just. It's just like I try to interact with everyone, and it's because that I got this opportunity to meet a lot of new kids, to meet a lot of students my age from around the globe.
Yeah,
And I've been to different places, like I've been to different seminars, I've learned something, I've given something. And uh, this two-way communication has led, I think, into my personal growth. And I hope that if even one person was affected positively from it, then it is successful. So, well, for me, it has affected me positively in several ways. So, I am a student, and I love to talk to other people. I love to talk to other people my age. I want to know that what they're doing, and if someone is doing really great, I want to get inspired from him. I want to know that what he's doing, what he or she is doing, and how can I learn something from him. There's something that I know a little bit about it, and he or she can get help from it. So why not
right,
share it? So
right.
that
So,
is,
so,
I
so
think, the main theme
Kautilya,
of it.
right. So, Kautilya, what are some of the traits that these little kids show? And you could feel that this kid might be a genius, or this kid is completely different or something. What are some of those traits that even parents might ignore? Who knows?
Well, before answering the main question, I'd like to mention one thing that when we talk about that kids have great memory power and kids are really super brainy. So what I actually feel is that it's not as if the mind gets retarded with age. It's just that a kid who is 5 or 6 years old, he has no worries. He has no worry about the bills. He has no worry about career. He's just enjoying his life. He is viewing. He's observing whatever is happening around him. He's contemplating about it, or he's enjoying playing something. He's enjoying thinking about something. He's enjoying thinking about the next cartoon show or the TV show that would be coming on TV. So
Yeah,
that's a free brain, and it's that free brain which has the capability and power and traits. What you're actually saying traits is that the kids are so free and they have the time to indulge in these imaginative activities that we see actually beautiful wonders which are not expected. Like if I
right.
give some examples, I know quite a few people who have actually done wonders at their age. Like for example, you might know Professor Terence Tao. Professor Terence Tao is one of the greatest mathematicians alive. He holds a chair at I don't know, I think it's Carolyn's chair or something at the at UCLA. So he's a mathematician, and he has won the breakthrough prize and especially the Fields Medal. And along
Wow.
with that, he's one of the, like, in analysis in number theory, I think he's one of the leading person, and we might be learning about him after 10, 15 years in our textbooks. And when he was 2 or 3, he was so good at math, and when he was 7, I think he became the youngest person to get a medal at International Mathematics Olympiad, which is, I think, a feat that is unmatched. It's something that even high schoolers who are 17 or 18, 1 out of 1 million gets chance, and not all of them win a medal. And then he even became the youngest to win a gold medal. So I think children have this time, they have this energy, and they have this entire passion to devote onto something that at first glance a mature person might feel unimportant. But
Right.
what a child will do, or what a kid will do, is that he'll not contemplate about it matters or not. He'll just think about, if it is interesting to me, I'll do that. Right.
Yeah,
So that is something that makes kids different from our general
from the
scope,
others.
from the other age groups. So it's not as if the kids have this super. It's not that their brain is too evolved. Well, there are several factors, and sometimes I've even heard that kids are better at retention in many things, and that's quite possible because that they're unfilled, they are ungapped. It's just like a canvas which is ready to be painted, and you can paint it, you can mold it in any way possible,
Right.
from the extreme of the from extreme top to the extreme bottom. It's dependent on the kid and on his passion, and everything else is surrounding the scenario around him.
Right.
So answer, like, getting back to the original question that you actually asked, like what traits, I think one of the biggest traits that is in kids is asking questions and thinking about them.
The
Well, I
curiosity.
think the curiosity part. Well, I'll like to share an anecdote. I'll share an excerpt from a famous story, and I think you might have heard it, and I don't know whether it's true or not, but I believe that it's 99% true because I've heard it many times. Well, I'm not pretty sure that if it's true, but I've heard it many times, so I believe that it's true. And you might check after this, like even the viewers, you should check because it's a really interesting
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
Huh. So the thing is that the story revolves around Albert Einstein, and it is said that when Albert Einstein was a kid who didn't used to speak, and his parents were really they were They're like, why is our kid not speaking? He was 4 or something, and kids usually speak at the age of 2 or 3. They start speaking at even at early stages. And
Yeah.
Albert Einstein, his parents, they were worried that is our kid retarded? Does he have any problem? He didn't speak anything.
Yeah.
And they insisted on him speaking, but he never said a word.
Yeah.
And then one day, around supper or something, they were having this small snack. They were having soup and something, and soup was too hot. So Albert Einstein, a 5 or 4 year old kid who hadn't spoken in his entire lifetime, of 5 years, just he was drinking the soup, and then he just said in German. So he was Austrian German, so he was
Yeah.
German. So in German, he spoke, the soup is too hot,
Soup is too
and
hot.
and the parents were flabbergasted. They didn't
Yeah.
actually believe that a kid who hasn't spoken yet is
Yeah.
speaking in full words. So I don't know whether it's true or not, but I've heard it so many times that I assume that it's true. So that is how the things are.
So he was all
Albert
this while he
Einstein,
was
uh,
registering, but
at
then
all this time,
he
at
was
all
just
this time,
registering.
Einstein, G, I believe that Albert Einstein was observing all the things, and until then, things were going on fine. But then this
Right.
obstacle, this intrusion of soup, that soup is too hot. So there's a problem in there. It's not normal. If the soup would have been of normal temperature, then I believe that he wouldn't have said anything at the time, especially on
Right.
that day. He would have he would have been muted. So
Muted.
I,
Exactly.
huh. So it's
So,
like that you do. G.
yeah. So, Kautilya, you talked about free brain and then, let the child be himself or herself or whatever. But you know that there is a school system also. And then there are, school system milestones that needs to be achieved at certain age you have to do. So how do you sort of balance between the both when you know that maybe your child is a little different, and but then there is school system, there is a set curriculum that the child has to in order to go to the next class. So how do you kind of balance that?
Well, actually, before commenting anything on it, I mentioned that I'm not an expert on whether what is the right form of education is something, because I'm just a student and I'm just a curious one. What I believe is that I like to question, and I'm just a normal kid, and I'm just a person who wants to think about few things, who is deeply interested in physics and astronomy and a
Yeah.
bit of mathematics. So I'm no different than that. Well, to mention all of the academic milestones, yes, they're important because, especially for a student, what I've seen is that these academic milestones they don't guarantee that whether you'll succeed in the field, and well, they do give you an advantage. And if a person has a deep passion in, imagine, one field, and if he's excelling in it from the school stage,
Yeah.
he or she has uh, an unmatched and unparalleled advantage over other students. So
Yeah.
if you are interested, then why not do that? Then why not do them? Because it will give you an advantage and it will
Right.
help you. Well,
Right.
but if you miss on them for a few reasons, then it doesn't mean that it's the end of the course. It's still, you have
Right.
an entire life left, and you can do miracles and wonders in whichever field you're passionate about. So, well, I think it's because we are in the system, so we need to go along with it, and we need not it to be an intrusion and an obstacle in our final goal. We need to take it as a help, because, well,
Yeah.
I think in middle school, I think no parent or no kid should focus mainly on marks. It's just that if he or she is performing average or above average, it's totally fine. There's no
Yeah.
worries. They should be focusing more on their overall development. They should be focusing more on their thinking capabilities, on their social skills, and there's several other aspects. And marks and all of these GPAs and Olympiads and several other academic milestones. If the
Right.
kid is really interested in academics, then he should go in it, because imagine that if a student is interested in fundamental science,
Yeah.
if a third grade student keeps thinking about Big Bang, he heard about Big Bang from here, he heard about something what starts, and he's just thinking about it. It's really great. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I think there should still be a scope of him going playing football in the field and doing some fun stuff and enjoying his life, because that
Right.
is what childhood means, right?
Right.
It is not that he should be, if he is interested in one field, then there is no exposure to any other field. So there shouldn't be any restriction for a kid. But after he reaches certain stage, I think there is a need to channelize all that energy that you have, because then you're talking about, if you want to excel in something, then channelizing your energy is something that is must. Then when I was like, then when the same kid comes to high school and he's really passionate, he or she is really passionate about his chosen field, then he should give the best. Then he should give his best in it. That is
Absolutely.
the
I
entire
think,
thing. And then he should not only just focus on the GP on the marks, but on his overall knowledge, because good
yeah,
scores in high school might lead you to good universities and colleges, but that doesn't guarantee you success in that particular field. That guarantees you an advantage. You'll be having a better peer group, you'll be having an access to great laboratories, to great professors, to great questions, to great ideas and great platforms. But that still doesn't guarantee you that whether you'll achieve what you want to, if you don't have that passion. And if you have that passion and you don't get it into such a beautiful school, into such a prestigious school, that
yeah.
still doesn't guarantee that you'll not do something good, and you have still a great chance, a really high chance of being the best in the world.
Wow, you have so much clarity, Kautilya. I mean, really appreciate all that insightful knowledge. So, you talked about astrophysics and your interest. So, is it a study about, cosmos or how the universe was made, and how does the future look like? Do you see what are the possibilities? Maybe you can share some for our viewers.
Mhm. Well, when you talk about things like astrophysics, so uh, the future that we are seeing today is pretty unprecedented. We don't know that what course humanity will take in next 10 years or something. If we
Right.
go back 20 years, if we just go back in 2000s, let's take
Yeah.
2001 or 2002, who would
Yeah.
have imagined that there would be such advancement? We'd be launching, we'd be trying to, well, not, I think space explorations wouldn't be such an issue, but we'd be thinking of conversing on a Zoom call. Well, internet was there, but we didn't think of having such beautiful mm, gaming and such beautiful designing things and AI or something like these. We
Yeah.
wouldn't have imagined that a computer and an artificial intelligence would be competing, would be squaring off with humans in a
Yeah.
much better way in different things. Well, computers were way better than us in calculations, in storing data, in analyzing data, in segregating data. But things
Yeah.
like identifying patterns,
Yeah.
things like understanding language, things
Right.
like uh, seeing some random stuff and then getting onto something. AI is trying to get better onto it, and that is really surprising. So from now, I think that we definitely don't know that what course we'll take, but because we have this, because we have there's no harm in guessing. So I'd make this guess because like
It's a
there are
bright
no bills
future.
for guessing, there are no bills for guessing, and we need not to pay to for any wrong guess. So I think that in the next 50 years or something, well, it's really a big idea and I've not thought much about it, but because you've asked, so I'll just answer it spontaneously. In the next 50 years or something, if all the things go well,
Yeah.
I think we are on a good track, but what we have done till now has even led to problems that we
Yeah.
haven't thought of solutions yet properly, like, as you know, climate change and several other things which need an immediate solution.
Yeah.
They are something that is next upon us, but still I think technological advancements, and as you know, things like quantum computers, and we are entering a different stage. We
Yeah.
have seen things like decentralization of economics of several things. We have seen cryptocurrencies in this 5 years.
Evolving.
We have seen evolvement of AI, of artificial
Yeah.
intelligence in this year only. In
Yeah.
2022 and 2023, we saw coming up different AI search engine of AIs and different things, which I think we weren't so sure that in 2017 or 2015 that we will reach this state in 2023. And
Yeah.
now in 2023, we're not sure that whether in 2030 or 2027 we would do something worth, well,
Right.
we do something miraculous in the field of quantum computing. But
Right.
who knows that something like that might happen. So I think it's something that it's very subjective, and we can't get onto one thing. So I think people listening would have different opinions and different views, and we want all those we used to be good, and let's hope that we don't we don't fail as a civilization. So that is our most important goal. So survival is yet, because
Is
uh
important.
हाँ, because क्योंकि हमने अब तक जो कुछ किया है, whatever we have done till now is like we need to pay for it, right? We need to have these solutions. We need to solve the issues that we have created, and
Absolutely.
people are working on it. They are big. I think the governments, their billionaires, their companies, non-profits, and millions of people are working
A
on
lot
it.
of people
And
are aware. Absolutely. They're
I
aware and
hope
they're
that
working towards it.
I hope that this number increases and people incorporate these things in their real life. What we talk on camera, what we talk on stage, what we talk that trees should be planted. Uh, we should make our lifestyles more greener. We should try to decrease our own self. An individual should decrease his or her own carbon footprint. Well, we talk about that on camera, but do we do, but are we actually doing that? Are we actually switching off our AC? Actually, are we switching off uh, or over usage of electricity and different things? That
Yeah,
that is something that only an individual can answer for himself.
for
So
himself,
we
exactly.
need to incorporate. It's not that we'll just speak it on camera, but or on stage or in rallies and in different gatherings. But if individuals try to incorporate these things in their own personal lives, then only I think we can achieve things faster than what we are expecting. Otherwise, things can even
Right.
take an ugly turn, and we might not be ready to face the consequences.
Consequences, exactly. So, Kautilya, you talked about video game and all the technological advancements and all that. Do you think in the student community it has kind of hampered their education, or because I see all the kids around me are so sucked up with that, they are so consumed. So what is your take on that? Because there are many video games that are educational, so there's like both sides.
Well, actually, I feel that when things which were made for solving our problems, when things were made for mm, making our lives easier, become an overly integrated part of our lives, problems are created. Like
Yeah,
if you say that calculators were made for helping in calculations, but now even a ninth grade student is using calculator.
yeah,
So that might be good, but that also has its own consequences. That leads to student not being so coherent with mathematical calculations. That might be helpful in certain ways because
yeah,
we're not dependent on calculator for every sort of for every sort of mathematical manipulation.
yeah,
Imagine that mobile phones, were made to make communication simpler, to make information cheaper, to make information more accessible. Internet to made
yeah.
was made to make information more accessible, and it has done to a to an unimaginable extent, and
Right.
we are really successful in it. This advent has led to great consequences. It has led to great victories, but with these, it comes a lot of suicides. Internet has also made a lot of problems, a lot of
Yeah,
cyber attacks, and n number of different things. So
right.
things which like mobile phone was made to make our lives easier, but now mobile phone has become one of the biggest issues of our lives
Absolutely. Yeah,
in common man's life. It is a real problem, addiction and different things. So to
right.
all the kids would be actually watching, and to all the other people who are who are closely related to those kids who are severely affected by such things, it's not just gaming, but it's all other things that might hamper their real potential. I believe that something needs to be done, because if the kid has his or her own energy, their own potential, and then I think it needs to be utilized, right?
Right.
Imagine that, especially as a kid, I feel that when there was no TVs in our home, like I in 2011 or 11 or 10, like we
Yeah,
had a TV, but I think internet was not so accessible in India
not a
back then.
thing. Yeah, exactly.
It used to come in these dongles and these chipsets
Yeah.
which you connect in computer PCs, and PCs were also like we bought one laptop into 2013, but before that I never heard of such things as an internet.
Yeah.
And TV was there, and we used to watch TV regularly. And I think in summer vacations, our connection, like we didn't renew our connection for a month or so.
Must
and
have been the
we
best
had
time
nothing
of
to
the
do.
year.
We had nothing to do. Well, it was good, but in the
Yeah.
starting it felt a bit boring. Well,
Yeah.
later it was not, but in the starting it felt a bit boring because we were doing something and now we don't have access to that thing. We were utilizing our energy in watching TV, in analyzing and thinking about the movie and appreciating and enjoying. And nice, that's it. That's a really good scene. That's a really good stunt. That's a
Yeah.
really good plot. So we
Yeah.
were enjoying that. But now we don't have that facility. Now we are not using our energy in doing something. So we need to channelize our energy on a different way. And there are different methods to channelize your energy. And now, when at this age where gaming and internet and several other things are there, which are positive, but
Yeah.
they are I think they have infinite number of distractions. So it is really difficult for a person to stay away from these distractions. And it takes a lot of self-determination or passion. Either you are so
Yeah.
indulged in one thing that you don't get time for another. If you're so indulged in doing one thing, in playing, in a sport, or in studying something, or in reading a book, or
Yeah.
in enjoying, or in just doing some random stuff, that you don't get time for scrolling through TikToks and shorts.
Right.
Imagine that. Then though I think that wouldn't be much a problem. But to the people who have actually not found their passion and who are just trying to utilize their energy in few ways, they're experimenting with the time, then such courses, such passages lead to distractions uh and a severe addiction, which becomes a big problem later on. So I think
So
these
it
such
does
problems
hamper,
leads
right?
to,
It does hamper in a big way.
definitely it does hamper in a really big way. And
Yeah.
it I don't think I think that this can lead into something that is unimaginable, as if you might know that currently there's a really big problem in the states about what do you call about gun violence that is even happening in schools.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I
Absolutely.
heard of it. I heard of it. So that is something I think if internet wasn't there, I don't really think that such a problem would exist.
That would have been the
I,
problem.
I I believe
Exactly.
that. I believe that if internet wasn't there, but that doesn't mean that we'll switch off the internet from tomorrow, because that is something that has given us wonders and miracles, and it is, I think, one of our biggest weapons in our weaponry, that can in our quiver, that can be helpful in solving our future problems. What we
Absolutely.
have, what we have accumulated till now, that would be really very helpful in doing wonders later on. But yes,
Absolutely.
this problem on an individual's level, I so I like to say this to all parents, to all the students, and to the friends of students who are actually addicted in such ways, to to talk to them and make them indulge in something better,
Right.
that is yet enjoyable, and not hampering, that
Okay.
might be productive, or in the starting that might not be that productive, but still it shouldn't be hampering, right? We shouldn't be going in a backwards direction. We should always try to go forward, and we should always try to rise high, not going
Well,
downwards.
thank you so much, Kautilya. It was such a pleasure talking to you.